You know, I hate to say I told you so. Oh, who the heck am I kidding? I love to say I told you so. And the Game Awards 2019 nominees have been revealed. And as another not big surprise, Xbox has 0 games up for Game of the Year. The entire generation, they've gone without a single game up for Game of the Year. And what's even more interesting is I called that Death Stranding would still be in the running. Not only is Death Stranding still in the running for Game of the Year, but it also leads nominations with 10. Absolutely incredible when you think about it. So, obviously, the big one that you guys probably want to hear about is the Game of the Year. The games that are up for that are Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Control, The Outer Worlds, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2 Remake, and Shadows Die Twice. So, that's very, very interesting. Apparently, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate can be nominated because, despite releasing in 2018, it missed the cutoff date for last year's show. So, again, I think that sort of goes with the fact that it's been kind of a lackluster year in general. And, you know, obviously I think people are sort of, looking for more games to give awards to or whatever. I think that's, and also having a remake nominated for that, I feel like is also a bit of a reason why that's the case. Even more salt in the wound if you're a Xbox fan and if you're a Gears of War fan. Gears of War 5 isn't even nominated for multiplayer game of the year. What a sad state that is for that game and that franchise, right? Not even nominated for multiplayer game of the year, but Tetris is. Think about that for a second. So I just found that to be really, really interesting. Not to say that Gears isn't nominated for anything. It does have 3 nominations, but overall, it is kind of funny to see how far things have gone downhill for the Gears of War franchise, given what we've seen with this game in the past, and how, just in general, I think that people kind of expected it to be at least up for that. I wouldn't have voted for it in that space anyway, not with Call of Duty Modern Warfare out, but again, very interesting to see, how this kind of works out and how, Microsoft continues to, tout that, hey, things are changing, and then they don't have any games that are changing. And before you pointed out to me, The Outer Worlds being nominated has nothing whatsoever to do with Microsoft, as that game was well in development well before Microsoft bought them. Again, I'm not even sure that game would have been something Microsoft would have allowed to be released, since it has no microtransactions and no online aspects. So, again, congrats to all the ones that were nominated. A lot of Xbox fanboys clearly kind of freaking out over this and claiming media bias and this kind of stuff. Look, there's no media bias. Microsoft just hasn't had a good game out. That's not to say that they'll never have a good game out again, but they're in this huge slump when it comes to having anything worthwhile, and it's pretty obvious. Even in a lackluster year, it's looking likely that Sony's going to have another Game of the Year candidate. And then when you look at the other side, next year, The Last of Us 2 will probably win again. So that could be possibly back-to-back years for Sony. Microsoft hasn't even been nominated the entire generation, and the generation is over. So going to be very interesting to see how this all turns out. It is kind of funny to see people still play that media bias card. That hasn't been a thing for many, many years now. Just Microsoft needs to work on making better games. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.